Hey everybody, this is the HBCU Original, and this is the Spotlight Hour. Hey, this is a unusual Spotlight Hour. We're going to invite our guest on. We'll have Muddy Mike introduce him.
Absolutely, folks. We got somebody today with you. He's a mastermind in the game of basketball. He's a mastermind in the game of analytics. He does start out way out, but then he comes back in and brings you home. He loves the Lakers. I call him Mr. Laker. And he has a serious crush on what's his name? What's his name? The tall guy, 7 footers, Kevin Garnett.
Oh man,
is that who it is?
We all know who Kevin Garnett is, man.
Yeah, I mean he's got a serious crush with this guy, right? He's been telling for the last year or whatever.
Man, I just give credit.
What's going on, man? What's up? Bronny James is with the Lakers.
I love Garnett too.
What's happening, man? What's going on with the Lakers?
What's going on with the Lakers? I mean, honestly, we haven't really made a whole bunch of moves compared to where we were last season. I mean, talent-wise, I think we had guys on the roster. I just felt like we didn't get the best out of those guys. Maybe we can make some trades. We don't really need a whole lot. I wish we would trade for Zach LaVine or somebody like that. If I was a GM, I'd be trying to get Laurie Markkinen on the phone as we speak, but I don't know. I'm not Rob Pelinka, so whatever they do,
ready for that? They do. So let me jump in. You did make a move. You got a new head coach. That's a big move.
We got. Honestly, I like him better than the last one because the last one was just, I mean, realistically, it made it look like anybody could just go out there and just stand next to 12 men in the Lakers uniform and just do it. I mean, and when you look that lost, and it's like when you got guys making statements, like there are times when we look like we're lost as a team, and it's like that's not a good look, especially when you've been, as an NBA coach, you're supposed to be around the game since like practically your whole life at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you have higher knowledge of basketball, and for you to just, when it's that blatantly obvious, like you just sitting there with your hands in your pockets, and it's like that obvious on live TV that you have no idea what you're doing. Like I know you got to fake it till you make it, but
this is what it had nothing to do with basketball, right? This had to do with drinking wine and doing a podcast. That was what the rest of it.
Well, I mean,
wait. When you say Mike, say that one time they can hear you.
I think the resume had to do with drinking wine and doing a podcast. That were the qualifications.
I mean, obviously you got a personal relationship and things like that. I'm not mad at it because at the end of the day, I've heard JJ Redick talk about the game of basketball. He seems like a knowledgeable person. I mean, he's played in the league for 16 years, and he's kind of played. I mean, he retired a few years ago, so he kind of has an idea of how basketball in the NBA is played today.
Listen, I don't want to hear that, man. That guy is not qualified to be a head coach of the Lakers.
I mean,
the Lakers basketball team, and it's a travesty that Sam Cassell and these other
coaches more qualified
over him. It is. Come on, man.
I'm not going to.
I mean, I know you're a Lakers fan. Just
you're going to say Sam Cassell?
What?
Is not more qualified than this man?
He's more qualified as a player and coach.
Sam Cassell?
Yes, he's more.
He's a champion. And Sam Cassell got a chip.
That's right.
Sam Cassell got a chip.
And not only does he got a chip, he got a chip on his shoulder.
That's right.
He got a chip. So I mean, you have to have a proven track record. When I look back at somebody's history, I need to see in the history something that qualifies you for the position that you're going for. You can't even in the real world, ain't nobody gonna hire you if you ain't got some kind of resume that says I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt, and I'm ready to come do it for you. Come on, straight up.
That's too, Mike. It's more other coaches that probably were more qualified than him. So
there's a lot, but you got to know not of them are not going to take the job. They're not going to take the job. They're not. Here's the thing, guys.
Sam Cassell would have took the job.
It's a lot that comes with the job of being a Lakers head coach that a lot of people don't want to sign up for.
Yeah, he's a yes man. See, you got. See, I think he's a yes man. Yeah, and it's hard. And listen, he's a yes man, and he gonna say yes to whatever LeBron say. Yeah, and you gotta be okay with that. Taking that job, you gotta be okay with that. Now, I might have my plans and things that I want to institute, But if LeBron says it's this, then I gotta acquiesce to what LeBron is saying because after all, he is the franchise.
Let me ask you a question about LeBron James. Just be on topic. I got kind of migrate over to the Olympics. What do you guys? Well, first of all, congratulations to the U.S. team for winning their first game. What was it? 110-89, Mike? Was it?
Yeah, somewhere. You know, I'm on a ban on the Olympics because of Caden Clark, so I really don't.
Oh, boo!
Oh!
Yeah, I'm not watching the Olympics, man.
I asked Mike a question. I want to know why they don't put any of the college players on. And in fact, they should have one HBCU player and one, college kid. I mean, coming from the what do you call it? PIL school. So at least two players. At least
PWI.
The best in HBCUs and then one of the best in PWI. So
they
used to be. Well, the best kid from a PWI is just going to come from a school that's probably in the SEC.
That's true.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Realistically, like if you had to go right now, what's that kid that's going to do? Cooper Flag?
Cooper Flag, yeah.
That boy, he's nice. I like him.
He is.
He's the truth. From Howard University. I think he plays for the G League right now too. He's pretty good too.
I seen him banging on a couple proves.
Well, the Olympics is backwards, so guys, we gotta look at it collectively, right? Mm-hmm. You got Jaylen Brown's MVP of the tournament, MVP champion. You don't think all right, so what are we doing really? I mean, the funny thing about the Olympics, it's not about talent.
It's definitely not.
It's not.
It's political.
I realized that when Trae Young didn't make the Olympic team after averaging 25 and 10 a game.
So are y'all saying that LeBron kept Brown off the team, like MJ kept my boy Zeke off the team?
I would say to that degree. Is that what y'all saying? But LeBron probably definitely does have
the LA Laker fan right there. And LeBron James kept my man.
Well, let me say this, Vince.
Just like Jordan did.
Everything now is about image. Everything is about image. How you present yourself to the populace. Wait, listen. Is that marketable? Let me tell you this. When he was handed the most valuable player, when he was handed that trophy of the most valuable player of the tournament, right?
Yes.
What did he say after they handed him that trophy? Do you remember, Mike?
I didn't think they'd pick me. So what?
No, that ain't what he said. Mike, do you remember what he said?
No, I sure don't.
He had a few. He said, now I'm not going to repeat what he said. He said his words were, "Some people don't believe I should have got this because a lot of people believe that Jalen should have got it, right?"
Yeah.
So he said, some people don't believe I should have got it. He said, but listen, and he said, but I don't give a F. Right. Now he said that, and he didn't say I don't give a F. He said the word, and he said it real loud and emphatically on national television.
Oh, John. Man,
I'm telling you, that was amazing. There are major stages, Vince. There are major stages that when you get an opportunity, to address your audience on certain stages, there are certain stages that you cannot mess that up. That's one of those moments because you talking to that's the championship that's the championship, Vince. You talking to the world. You talking to people overseas. You talking to people here in the United States. You talking to everyone. When you accept that trophy, the next words that come out of your mouth are words that are either going to promote you or demote you.
John, the Dream Team was filled with all types of characters who did all.
No, I ain't talking. I'm not talking about that.
Hold on. Who did all types of stuff outside of basketball, criminal activity, and they still were on the team.
Yeah.
Fast forward to the Redeem Team. Players outside of maybe not speaking, but their actions, John.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, but it wasn't on national television.
John, beating a wife, DUIs, and was still on the team. I'm not
But they didn't catch that. That wasn't on national television. That wasn't with a mic in your face, and that wasn't with a mic in your hand in your face.
That's not this year.
That's not his character.
Is that a past Olympics? You guys talking about a past Olympics? You're talking about a past Olympics, not this Olympics, right?
I'm saying past Olympics. I'm saying, but his character.
Yeah, you're gonna pass. That's back. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about things. They just like technology changes every minute. Listen, things change.
Are you saying that Brown's character outside of the NBA is not justified? His character, and him.
Brown.
He does all types of stuff, John.
But what I'm saying, Vince, listen, right now, the way that these owners are looking at their franchises, they're looking at character. You can't even listen. They got a whole character situation going on.
Character, though.
Listen, are you listening to me?
Right.
There's a whole character test you got to pass in order for you to get on some of these teams, because it's not about some. They don't care if you can jump in the basket.
What more this man got to do? He has 3 nonprofits. He donates $100,000. What more do you got to do?
Who are we talking about?
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown. His words.
Do you know what he does outside?
He might do all that, but when he had his moment, when he addressed the popular,
he's mad. He's mad.
He can be mad. Hey, what the Bible say? Be mad, but sin not. You can be mad all day long, but the Lord said you better tame that.
Right. You guys are both.
You take that madness and you say it to the coach, but you don't get on national television and air your dirty laundry and let everybody know what you thinking.
Okay,
that's what's wrong with our young boys. They don't know how to. They don't know how to suppress their anger, and they blow up all the time. They always catch them. They always blowing up. They just don't have. They need to be able to tame that and deal with that. Don't say that. And Magic Johnson and them say it all the time. They be trying to talk to these young boys, but they don't. Look at your boy. Look at Ja. Look at Ja.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Out of pocket, doing stuff crazy and repeatedly.
Outside of the court, Durant. What's the kid you said? John Morant. He is out of care. He's out of pocket.
All the way.
That way. Brown is not that way.
Well, I'm not saying he is, and I like him. I like him. I personally, I like him a lot.
Let's get to the core of Brown. No, we're not getting to the core of Brown. Okay, if you're going to talk about Jaylen Brown, let's get to the core. He's not a cow. Okay, what's a cow? He is a very highly intelligent.
Yes, he is highly intelligent.
I mean, he like
they don't want us to be intelligent.
PhD level.
Yes,
where,
all day long.
And he don't talk. And he just plays, but he understands that. I mean, he probably feels in his heart because of my skin color. Okay,
they don't want us to be intelligent, though.
Pigmentation. I mean, let's face it. As African Americans, pigmentation plays a role. Okay, how they market you? How they're going to market you? How they're going to present you? What do they draft you? All of this plays a role. Okay, so you got to understand that Brown just got snubbed. I mean, for years I've been saying he's a better player than Tatum. He's been a better player than Tatum for like 4 or 5 years. The only thing Tatum does is get in the championship choke. He just chokes. He just can't do it. Now Brown carried him, then he ready to show up. But then when it comes to Tatum would have got the MVP, it'd be like, whoa, what America, what a change. Okay, but there's some funky things going on in Beantown with Boston because Danny Ainge left. Danny Ainge was the general manager, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
And
the
coach that couldn't coach, Stevens, who couldn't win, they promoted him. Okay, that's what they do. That's what America does. When you can't do the job well, they promote you and get somebody else in there. Right?
To get somebody else, exactly.
Yeah. So, and then now you got their situation has changed, and they both make $300 million, but they need to trade one of the players.
One of them got to go get their own team.
Now, when you get to LeBron, this is the hardest thing I ever could see with LeBron James. LeBron James worth $1 billion. You know how hard it is to coach somebody worth $1 billion? You know how hard it is to tell them to do something? You know how many coaches LeBron has got fired? Not for losing, just for winning. He fired. Okay. Now, and I'll tell you, because it's his uncle, right? Okay, and I'm gonna tell you about a young man, Darren Johnson, right? Started with him in the 5th grade. Got all the way up. Philadelphia took him with the 12th pick in the G League draft. Okay, they took him, and You know, great ball player, came out of Washington, played for Reggie Theus up there. Let me tell you what happened. He got in there with Brett Brown. Okay, it's the biggest. That's why Philly can't win, because that guy wrecked your organization. And let me tell you how bad he wrecked it. Because I sat down in summer league and I talked to Elton Brand, general manager, time for 20 minutes. We sat down, had a long conversation, and this guy kept bringing player in and trade. Markel Fultz, everybody. I've never seen anything that happened in Philly. Okay, this is like, what was 2017 or whatever. They finally got rid of Brown. He wrecked, what's his name, Ben Simmons. He had Embiid wrecked. I mean, he that guy tore the whole organizational down because they had somebody in there with Jerry, what do you call him, Jerry Canangelo or something like that. He's a big time guy in the NBA. But I've never seen an organization run so many guards, and everybody hated it. Okay, and then he got rid of them, and then they took the whole G League team they were playing in Philly. They moved to Delaware that year, right? And he brought a whole bunch of them over again. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes I will say this in the organization, and I learned this from Calvin Andrews at Clutch Sports. Okay, he's right there with Clutch. He tells me all the time. Every time he says, Mike, it's not how good you are, it's how good a situation you're in. Okay?
That's right.
If you get the right situation, okay, and to give you an example of that, I'll use the Lakers, right? So you had what's his name, Isaiah Vince. He works out with Darren at the gym.
Gabe Vincent.
Gabe Vincent, yeah. Him and my guy work together. Darren, they work out every day. They've been knowing each other for years, right? Gabe Vincent goes to Miami. Nowhere near all the talent. Luck works out. Pat Riley loves him. Okay, and he signed. Pat offered him another contract for what he do. He went to the Lakers, and he's like, "Holy hell, where am I at now? I'm out of a great situation. I was just there to come to LA because now LA is doing the same thing Philly did. They're just bringing in new players. And ever since LeBron came in, I've never seen a team, the Lakers. And Isaiah, please, I got to hear from you tonight. Tell me why the Lakers get a new lineup every year. Every year. It's like, okay, well, who's coming in this year? And they're supposed to go win it.
Every 2 years.
I mean, it's really not a secret that, I mean, obviously LeBron James has a huge influence on what we do in the offseason. Like, that's not, I mean, everybody knows that. I mean, it's not a coincidence that J.J. Redick is our head coach, and just like a few months ago, he was talking about flare screens and pick and rolls and pick and fades with LeBron James.
Okay. So what do you do now? What are we gonna get? 9 more players again? 9 more players again?
Who are they?
They got a whole fresh lineup.
But can you
and practice squad too, Mike?
Tell me who are they getting? Who is the new Lakers now?
Here, I'll tell you the Lakers that are not with them. And Isaiah, you can tell them everyone they trade becomes a star. Everyone they trade. As soon as they get off the Lakers, they go become a star because LeBron is too hard to play with, man. It's horrible. Go ahead, Isaiah. Tell them, man.
I'll say the guys who can excel after they're done playing with LeBron are guys that could actually play in the NBA, because there has been a plethora of guys, even I've seen it just from watching LeBron on the Lakers for the past 4 or 5 years. It's like, and a player I'll bring up is like Alex Caruso. When Alex Caruso was on the Lakers, he was like a hidden gem. They never seen a bald white guy who wore a headband who had a 38-inch vertical. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
all of a sudden,
nice.
he leaves the Lakers.
Yeah, he's nice.
Like, solid NBA player, don't get me wrong, not a superstar, but, you know, decent NBA player. You know what I'm saying? He consistently has a job. One of the better defenders in the league. Now, he goes to a team where you're not on LeBron James, and all of a sudden that same attention and that same scouting analysis on your game isn't there. You're just seen as somebody who's a solid defender in the NBA. But when you play next to LeBron and you do somewhat decent, and LeBron does what he does, I mean, he's LeBron James. If he's playing good and he's doing what he has to do, and you just not out there messing up, then all of a sudden, oh, okay, maybe this guy will play better if he's not with LeBron, instead of a guy who's actually, his game is being enhanced because he's on the floor with LeBron.
Is that with DeMar DeRozan? That's why he turned down LA?
Oh, DeMar
turned down LA. You know that, right? He's from LA.
Oh, he did?
He's from LA. Yes, he is. And he turned down LA to go to Sacramento.
Because he didn't want to be with LeBron.
That's right.
The big stars don't want to play with him. I noticed that. Let me ask you a question too.
Now, where did DeMar go at?
He went to Sacramento.
Kings.
Okay, he went to Sacramento.
He's out there with the young boy.
Yeah, he wants to go to the second round.
Darren Fox, nice.
Yeah, that wasn't there.
Heard it from me.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
They're going to trade Fox. I'm telling you, they're going to trade him.
No, you'd be a fool. You'd be a fool.
Why? I don't know.
Let me ask you a question. Who did the Lakers draft?
Bronny James.
Bronny James.
Okay. I mean the real draft. I'm sorry.
No, that was no, don't say that. I tell you what, Bronny James is the real hooper guy.
Everybody else was traded.
Who was your first pick? The real draft. I'm sorry. Who was your first pick?
Our first, I think we picked the Dalton Connect, white boy out of.
Hey, you know what? You know what's funny? Mike, there was an article, but that's more importantly, since LeBron is using his powers to, and you're supposed to bring your son on. I mean, so I applaud that. I want to see him use his powers to say, "Hey, NBA."
Did I say what?
Hey, NBA, make it mandatory that we do a HBCU draft and pick at least 10 players, because it seems like they're getting left behind. But there is some talented players. I think they need to have a draft just for HBCU schools, and use his influence to do that, man.
Well,
and not from all these Power 5 schools and big
let me say this today. If you good enough, they're gonna find you no matter where you at.
Nah, that's not always true. That's not always true.
If they found Scottie Pippen at the Division 3 school.
Well, let me show you. I mean,
and watch this. Hold on. Wait, Vince. They found an AJ English at a Division 2 school.
You're not hearing me though.
I got a whole plethora of them I can run down that came from Division 3 and Division 2 that are in the NBA right now.
John, but listen to what I'm saying to you. We're talking about the stats. So we're just saying, just for instance, the HBCU All-Star game. Out of how many of those players you think went to the NBA? That's what I'm saying. So this is what I'm saying to you, John. And there's the talented players that will bust your behind.
There's for sure some cats at HBCUs who could probably.
Oh, John, you got to go back and learn the facts. I'm trying to tell you. It's not. What I'm saying is they need to have a mandatory pool, because they caused this problem. Remember, at one time, HBCUs had all of the best players.
They did, but that was
football, basketball, track, everything, Olympians. So the same way they flipped it and started, gravitating them. So some of these stars who are in the NBA need to say, listen, hey, get him a shot too. Yeah, LeBron, your voice is big enough to say, let's do that, man.
Yeah,
you're in the NFL. Hey, Jalen, your voice is big enough. Go to some of these schools and get these guys a shot, man. An honest shot, and bring them on.
I wouldn't be against that at all. I feel
a lot of it is.
There's a lot of factors that would have to come in play for that to happen.
But it's politics. It's a lot of politics involved too, John.
I'm not going to say politics, Vince. I agree with you most of the time.
We just say money.
There's only 400 guys in the NBA, man.
No, I'm saying sometimes they may say, oh, he went to Jackson State. Man, I'm not thinking.
There's only 400 guys.
They won't even give him a chance.
I know. But if you bring the guys in, this is what I would want you to go do. I would want you to go watch an HBCU game, okay, and then go watch, one of the top blue bloods play like a Duke. Okay, they're playing at a whole other level. 6'8", 6'9", 7-footers.
Well, we're not saying those. We're not saying the average players. Like we're talking about the best of the best. I'm saying the best players.
It's impossible. This is the truth. It's impossible for an NBA scout to miss an HBCU player. One, they have them in conference. They got the stats. They put them in an all-star game in the state. So they get every opportunity to show what they can do. Now, what you're maybe saying is, let's see if we can get them on some G League teams. Like, let's get a few guys up to Delaware. Maybe we get one HBCU guy on every G League team, so he can get through that, because the talent pool, man, it's by the time they get done, all the guys come back from overseas. You get the guys drafted, summer league, existing players. Man, that's the NBA. It's kind of hard to even mention, and I'll look at it like this. When I saw LeBron, he opened in soccer, and I walked in and I saw him. I looked at him. I said, man, that's a big cat. If you look at LeBron's 6'8", 275. That is a big dude. Okay, and he's playing out there with other big guys now who are jumping even higher. So if and John, you played. If you had to go up against these guys are way up there now. I mean, and then you got the guy on the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, that guy is rolling, you know. And so the talent, the only thing I can say about the HBCU and the NBA, you got a 10x multiple to get to Power 5, D1 Duke, and then you got another 10x multiple to get to the NBA. That's 20 times bigger. Even in the NFL, you see the guys playing the NFL, man, that is one guy out of the last 10 years at that university that's playing. And that dude is fast and quick and strong.
I would say the only sport that actually goes over what Mike is saying, the Power 5 schools, is track and field, because last year in track and field, your fastest individuals were out of the HBCUs.
Yeah. And then you got like
43 for up to 400 meters, the 100 meters. So some sports can like you said, some cannot.
It will make it easier transition.
Yeah.
Like I feel like given with football, I feel like it'd be a lot easier for a person who played football to make that transition from an HBCU to the NFL, given that there's multiple rounds and there's at least
I don't know, because
there's multiple positions that you could play. In basketball, it's only 5 positions on the floor.
Man, have you guys ever seen DJ Metcalf? Have you ever seen DJ Metcalf? Have you seen that receiver they got for Philly, man? That dude running 4.3 and he getting it in, man. That dude is fast. He's 160 pounds, right?
No, he's saying the some positional spots, I guess, you know.
Yeah, hard, man.
You got well, let me tell you this. At Dell State, you had John Taylor.
I would just put it like this.
John
Taylor, when Walter Payton got drafted, they drafted the left tackle that used to block for him as well.
Okay.
Come on. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And he wound up playing with one of the best.
John Taylor was one of the best. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, and held his own. And he was a bona fide second option. Yes, sir. Ain't no doubt about it.
He really was the first option.
John Taylor was a bad boy.
I'll tell you something. John Taylor was better than Jerry Rice.
Yeah, he was good, man.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. John Taylor was better than Jerry Rice.
Well, speaking of Jerry Rice, he went to an HBCU.
He did too. I'm gonna cut the facts.
He did. Where'd he go? Where'd Jerry Rice? Where'd he going?
I'm correct.
He went to Mississippi Valley State.
Mississippi Valley, yeah.
Mississippi Valley State. So he had offers to go. But John Taylor was better than Jerry Rice when he came in. Now, let me tell you what happened. John used to hit them slants and take it 90 yards. Jerry never did that. Okay, and John was one of the best punt returners in the NFL.
Yes, he was.
He could get it. And when he got his hips hurt, so that kind of slowed him down. But man, John would catch that ball for 5 yards and go 90. Then Jerry said, "Wait a minute, let me start doing that." If you look at it, John was breaking it before Jerry, and that's what made Jerry Ice become great.
But that's what I'm saying. It's crazy that
ain't that something?
But HBCU players, man.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something.
John NFL history is an HBCU.
Yeah.
They can say what's his name? Tom Brady. But Tom Brady is not athletic, and Tom Brady didn't win the Super Bowls.
Well, yeah, you got the guy at Alcorn.
Those three, they was defense.
HBCU great.
Arguably the greatest football player to ever walk this earth. He
got hurt.
He's definitely
got killed. When the guy got killed, the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans.
Oh,
I mean, he was country strong. Country strong.
Country strong.
What's his name? Steve. What was his name? Steve. I can't think of his last name, but him and his brother, and they were talking about how he never lifted weights. You got a lot of great HBCU.
I think Steve McNair went to an HBCU, right?
McNair, yeah.
Your first black quarterback won the Super Bowl. HBCU.
Yeah, that's right.
Was it Doug Williams?
Oh yes, for sure.
Well, that's because you had Eddie Robinson. Now you're talking about Coach Robinson.
Oh yeah, man.
You know, so you got the guys sitting there, and we couldn't go anywhere else. And it's funny. And then they had that game between Bear Bryant and USC. And they brought Sam Bam Cunningham down. He ran all over. Then the guy said, "Hey," and they're in the barbershop and having breakfast. We got to get us some of them. You know, they use the N-word. We got to get us some of them. And that's when he broke the color line because Alabama didn't want to have any black players. And he won them. So he brought SC with all the black, and they just demolished them. And he came back and he jumped in. But they HBCU, the HBCUs, believe it or not.
Oh yeah. Well. Hey, listen. Look at Winston-Salem State.
Hey, how many years did he play?
Games. You know they had the best.
Yeah.
They had the best. Come on. You know who I'm talking about. Who I'm talking about?
Earl the Pearl Monroe.
Earl the Pearl, baby.
Hey, your boy Stephen A. say he played. He had 1.9.
You know what? Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk. I want to know how you brothers feel. I want to know how you brothers feel.
He had 2 points a game, man.
No, Stephen A. Smith. Here's the deal with Jason Whitlock. I'm trying to figure this one out. All right, so here's the deal. Stephen A. Smith. You know, it's HBCU, Winston-Salem. And you got a brother, Jason Whitlock's like, hey, man, this guy memorized. It's all full of lies. It's all fabricated. This guy goes in, he digs it up, and he goes, how come we can't find one player from Winston-Salem that says I played with Stephen A. Smith? I mean, he's just walking down the drain, right? He's going in there and saying, well, wait a minute. This Stephen A. said he didn't play. He had something in his leg. But this guy played 9 games. And I'm wondering, who is this Stephen A. Smith? Okay. And so what? And so instead of confronting, sitting down, having an intelligent conversation, explaining his career, Stephen A. cussed him out and kept going. Then the other thing that hit me, and brothers, you got this one just I flipped out the back of my chair. He was talking to Shannon and what's his name, Ocho Cinco, he on the show, and they asked the brother about banana pudding, and he said, I ain't never had banana pudding. Okay, and I sat back and I said, you's a black man, went to an HBCU.
You never had banana pudding?
Never had banana pudding. All right, now you have to ask yourself that, right? Because I can understand if this young man, Isaiah never had IB, he's young, but everybody had banana pudding. Okay, banana pudding.
Well, let me say this. Now, that right there will cause you to lose your black card. Now you might lose your black card if you go on national television and tell people you ain't never tasted banana pudding. That's grounds for termination of your black card. We're gonna put you on suspension.
Hey John, hey, and every bodega in New York City sells banana pudding.
Come on.
He said he grew up in Hollis, Queens. So I don't, hey.
Well, he played on the team because I know other players. Matter of fact, when he came for HBCU week,
Mike, he did play. I seen a thing with him.
Some of the players.
Former players have stepped up.
Matter of fact, Monte Ross.
They haven't been on TV yet.
No. Listen, Vince. Monte Ross, who was the former coach of the University of Delaware, who is now the head coach of North Carolina A&T, played on the same team with Stephen A. Smith. And when Stephen A. came there, I was right with him. Me, Stephen A. is a few of them that played together. Monte Ross was there, and we actually walked through the whole thing at the 76ers thing in Delaware, right? And they were talking about past times and all that when they played ball and all that. So I was privy to that conversation. So it's official, like a ref with a whistle. The brother played on HB. He played on the team.
Hey, listen. Since we got you on the horn, I want to do a LA Phillies 3-point contest shot. I mean, a challenge.
What do you think about Embiid? What do you think about Embiid? He probably
we're gonna do a challenge. We're gonna do the challenge first before we get to Embiid.
What challenge you talking about, man?
I'm talking about that Lakers fan and me. 3-point.
That's nothing. That's nothing, man. That's nothing.
Well, he does like the Baltimore Ravens now. He's a Baltimore Raven. He's a Baltimore Raven, man. That's Baltimore Ravens all day. Lamar Jackson.
You watched Lamar Jackson.
Hey, let me ask you this:
who can't win no championship game?
I was great say, did he choke? Did he choke or what?
Y'all gonna see, man. It's all right.
I'm just saying, did he choke?
Hey, Mike, Reggie Miller.
Yeah, I've been telling you that. I've been telling you that, man. I've been telling you that. He been, I can say this about Isaiah. He's a great young man. Great young man, does all his sports.
Hey, I'm gonna just tell y'all like
He's
this.
just bad at sports. That's all.
They used to say the same thing about Peyton Manning before he won Super Bowls. His reputation was a quarterback who couldn't win the big games.
Mm-hmm.
He had to lose a couple AFC championship games, a couple semifinal games. Mm-hmm. Hey, eventually, Peyton Manning came around, he got him a chip or two.
He lost
I'm just saying. And I'm just saying, in this NFL, Patrick Mahomes might be Tom Brady.
You need McQueen, though. You lost McQueen.
Peyton Manning.
You lost McQueen, though. That was the center of your defense.
So he's in Delaware. Let me tell you where they are, Isaiah. Okay, you got John sitting there with the Bulls hat. He's down in Delaware. You got Vince sitting right in Philly, and we're in California. So they've got a bias going. Okay, but I'm with it. I just
no. You know what's funny, man? I love Baltimore, but the thing is, man, I'm not sure your coach is. I don't think he's in the right frame of mind.
Oh man, y'all got Nick Sirianni. What you mean?
I said your coach. I said with all the talent you brought Baltimore should have easily got to the championship.
Yeah, no doubt.
No,
let me say this.
Harbaugh with his decision making isn't the best coach.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's weird, man.
I can respect the coach. I respect the fact that he likes to take risks, but there be times where I'm just like, bro,
man. Like, what are you doing, man?
I wonder
I personally feel if we run the ball more than 6 times, we might have a different team representing the AFC in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
For us, man, we had a lot of injuries. I think it killed us ultimately.
I think with Lamar Jackson, man, you can't win with another man's armor. So you put him in a situation where he wasn't able to play his style of ball. He didn't play his game. He started throwing and passing and all that. You can't. That's not your armor. That's not your superpower.
Hey, John,
your superpower is to get that ball and get the moving.
John, you must have watched him at when he was in college. Did you?
Louisville?
No, Vince. I'm talking about the championship game.
He aired it out in championship game. He aired it out.
What?
He passed, man. Go watch him. Yeah, they changed him. They changed him in the NFL.
Yeah. Hey Vince, come on, man.
He was a passer, and he ran too. He had almost 4,000 yards. What are you talking about?
But fellas, isn't it a little different for the black quarterback than it is for the?
No, that's the way they change them, man. They make them that way.
They make them that way.
Because Bryce threw almost 4,000 yards. All these black quarterbacks do a lot of yards in college.
No, but yeah, they are. But
they switch them up.
But here's the thing I don't like. There's things that are good about the NFL and things I don't like. Okay? And here's some things I don't like about the NFL. When they draft you number 1, you're going to a really bad team. You got 3 years to become good. If you don't become good in 3 years, okay, then they're going to recycle you out and they're going to act like you can't play. And here's what happens, right? The only time those quarterbacks get picked up is the black coaches have to pick them up. Okay. First they get drafted, then they get released. Okay, so you look at Pittsburgh, got them. You got Raheem Morris. They're picking them up because here's the thing that really it's almost better. And you talk about Dion. Dion has a point. He's trying to pick where his sons he wants them to go. Because if you get drafted, like a Trey Lance or whatever, you get a high draft pick. They don't give you time. Okay, now Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers, they sometimes the Green Bay Packers they done it the same way. Rodgers had to sit for 3 years, then he replaced Brett Favre. And when Jordan Love came, he sat for 3 years, and then they replaced him, right? So sometimes we get the African-American quarterbacks going early in the draft, and they don't succeed. They just don't succeed. Even it was better. Here was what better in Philadelphia. Okay, You look at Jalen Hurts. He didn't have to come right away and play. Okay, so he was able to sit back. They took a flyer on this guy could be good. And then he turned out so good.
You want to be honest, Jalen Hurts should have definitely been drafted in the first round.
He should have been drafted in the first round, right? And
you guys know that story. But we all know why he wasn't.
Well, he was with Nick Saban, who has a lot of power. And,
Nick Saban?
He
went. All I know is he went to the playoffs after Nick Saban.
Yeah, he went to
Oklahoma, Alabama,
and then became a second round pick. And not a first round pick, and the biggest achievement that I can put in front of him.
Because they ain't want to pay him that money.
Right, but he went and got his master's degree, guys.
He's very, very intelligent.
Yeah, very, very intelligent man. And good teammate. And so I just think that with the NFL, we always talk about get more players in, but if you don't have a way to let these quarterbacks develop. Now the other thing, because there are so many African American quarterbacks, that's what they want to do. And I mentioned this a year or two ago. They're gonna put a cap on it. They're gonna put a cap on it. They're gonna figure out a way not to pay these guys. Okay,
why you say that?
Because too many African Americans at the top of the draft, too much money. You got Jerry Jones, Dallas Cowboys is about to have a heart attack. Yeah. He's got to pay Dak Prescott again. He does not want to give Dak another dime.
He's got 3 people that he has to pay.
I wouldn't pay him either.
Well,
You
what
got
do
to
you
choose
do?
between Micah Parsons, who's arguably one of the best defensive players in the NFL. You got to choose between CeeDee Lamb, who's a top 5 receiver in the NFL. He definitely gonna want some money after he's seen a couple of the contracts that people have been
Yeah.
signing this season.
Yeah.
Or it's like you could sign with Dak Prescott to have QB stability, but
Well,
at the end of the day, you feel like
defense
you already
wins.
know what you're gonna get.
But you know what?
Defense
Yeah,
wins games, though.
Yeah,
Defense
but you know what
wins
holds those contracts up? A lot of people don't know this. This is what holds the contracts up. Whenever you sign a player like a Dak Prescott and you give him $300, $400 million guarantee, you have to put that money in the bank. Okay, you have to take that money out of whatever cash you got. Sometimes they don't have the cash. Okay, and they have to put that in the bank. So if you sign Prescott, $300 million, you give CeeDee Lamb, $300 million, you give Micah Parsons $300 million, you got $1 billion. And you got to put that in the bank. All that money has to go in a trust. Okay.
Well, let me ask you a question then.
Yeah.
Dang, you said $1 billion, huh?
That's $1 billion. And you guys probably don't know if you haven't been paying attention, okay, with the NFL Sunday ticket. NFL owners just got hit with $14 billion settlement. $14 billion. The NFL owners are going to all have to pony up.
Right.
And pay that $14 million fan because the way they were offering,
they got the money, man. They got the money. Please,
man. Vince,
half of them can pay it all.
Everybody.
And all them big salaries they paying.
Yeah, but it's not that, guys. You got to understand that a lot of people in this world are cash poor. You know, and I probably include myself as one of them. You could have a bunch of assets and just you're cash poor, right? So everybody that don't have $1 billion sitting around and just pull out the bank. Okay, half those owners got to figure out how to go loan that money, or if they have it, you know how much money you can make in interest off $1 billion sitting there? And if you can hold on to it for another month, money you can make. That could be a bridge loan for somebody. You're talking about a lot of money. So I think that's the part the NFL owners, but $14 billion. So everybody's going to get a refund because they did something with the Sunday ticket renewals or some unethical practice. And those guys are not feeling. So Jerry came up with things as well. I don't know how much we're going to have to pay back on that lawsuit. That's why I'm hesitant to sign anybody. Okay, but I know with Dak Prescott, man, he is choking. He felt he overpaid him. Okay, and now it works. And so you got to look at African American. Trey Lance, same thing. Well, it didn't work out. We got this guy. Okay, so we'll throw him to the curb. Then we go up there to Chicago. We get to the Bears. Okay, and we got a great quarterback up at the Bears. All right, you know what I'm saying? Justin Fields, he's doing a good job. But what do? We throw him to the curb too. So how many of these guys, but they don't get recycled? Now you get this boy who came in for Philly. Man, what kind of magic wand he got? He's been recycled about 10 times in the NFL. Okay, Carson Wentz. I mean, he, every time he get out of a job, they give him a job.
Yeah, man. But he's more mental. His thing is mental.
Yeah. What about Zeke, man? Is Zeke still with them?
Nah, man. Running backs, man. He's worn down, man. He's worn down.
Yeah.
So
he got banged up so much, man. Yeah.
What Baltimore gonna do, Isaiah? Tell these guys something, man. You coming in from Cal.
What are we gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
We got Derrick Henry. We're gonna run the ball.
Yeah, but he getting worn down too, man.
But even then, in an offense like that, when he was on the Titans, it was like you knew that he was getting the ball 85% of the time.
And they know he'll get the ball down too.
Baltimore runs a lot of RPOs and a lot of read options, and they look for their tight ends like their wide receivers. So especially a read option with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, that's the pick your poison situation right there.
I know one thing: if y'all don't come out your division, man, you know it's gonna be problematic for the coach. It's time to go. With that team, woo.
Yeah, how about
I mean, and you know what?
Speaking of teams on the hot seat, I actually want to talk to Money Mike about this. What are we gonna do about the San Francisco 49ers and Kyle Shanahan if things don't go the way that you want them to go this year? Because last year was a golden opportunity if you look at roster on both sides of the ball and the staff that was equipped to do it. Especially if you lose a guy like Ayuk, and I hear that Trent Williams wants some money. If you ever look at the 49ers, if you ever wonder if systemic racism still exists, you look at the players that the 49ers give extensions to, they're all Caucasian Americans. Any player that's disputing a contract with the 49ers, look, Deebo Samuel had to fight for his contract. Ayuk is fighting for his contract. I'm pretty sure Fred Warner was a half-breed, so they probably showed him a little leniency. But
do you think there's some racism there?
Hey man, this is you
I'm
gotta
just saying,
call.
why can't Brandon Ayuk get his money after leading the team in receiving yards, especially as Brock Purdy's number one target?
Well, here's the deal with that. I can tell you exactly what's going on. And Brandon Ayuk, 49ers wide receiver, he knows it too, right? Anytime they drop your position in the first round, you're done. Okay, that's not kid about it. We're not gonna take a first round draft pick at your position and give you money. Now the thing is, the Niners are systemically able to control the stats. It's the one team in NFL that controls the stats. Okay. And if you look at it, the receivers only catch 60 balls. So we can't give you $30 million, okay, to catch 60 balls. It's just not. I mean, you're blind. And so you're
what
right.
if I catch 70 and I got 1,400 yards to go with it?
Well, yeah, you do. And the thing is, they don't want to pay you. They don't want you. And the thing is, and you're right about something. The Niners are the best team in NFL that has all the best Caucasian players. Okay, they got them all skills. They got one at quarterback, you got one at running back. Okay, you got one at tight end. Okay, you got one at defensive end. All the highest paid positions. So that's a good catch by you. That really is. I mean, but I do believe this. If he doesn't win, we talked a lot about Bill Belichick, and he wanted to hire Bill Belichick. I think Bill Belichick's going to take his job if he doesn't win.
Man, stop it. That guy is good, man. It's just the luck of what they call it, the luck of the Irish, whatever you want to call it. They just happen to throw on some bad. Listen, the guy is a great coach.
It depends on what lens you're looking at of Vince. If you're looking at it that lens, it's good. If you're looking at it my lens, then I got to go through this every year.
Let me ask you a question.
This every year with this guy.
Name me five better coaches.
Oh, 5 better coaches in the NFL? Well, that's easy. You got one in Baltimore. That's Harbaugh. You got one in San Diego. That's another Harbaugh. Okay, you got one with the LA Rams. Okay, he's getting it done. And let's go. You got one with Kansas City Chiefs. You want me to go to 10? I'd go to 10.
Okay, tell me why they're better than them.
Why are they better than them? Because he got better.
Because he took a ragtag team, if you ask me, and a ragtag quarterback, and took you to the championship.
Who took a ragtag?
Besides Debo and your tight end, I mean you brought in your Cat McCap. I mean, but the rest of the team is like mediocre.
Now I appreciate you doing a quick sweep of the 49ers.
I'm just saying, we got
more Pro Bowlers. We got more Pro Bowlers.
Pro Bowl that don't mean anything.
Okay. So that don't mean anything. We got more top 100 players than anybody in the league. We got more. Man. Come on, man. What do
y'all should have won then?
Because we can't. Why? What do you think this is? You just gonna wave a magic wand and win a Super Bowl?
LeBron got 3 top players on his team, and
he's garbage. He's garbage. It's garbage.
LeBron is garbage. All right.
He's garbage. Come on, man. He's got
I'm not gonna go that far, Mike, to say LeBron is garbage. Now I'm not
saying garbage. No. See, you guys don't mix up.
His style of play
has come down. It's
come down.
He always
has not accepted
slight decline in his game.
He has not accepted his role. He needs to be playing forward. He don't need to be having the ball in his hand like that. He slows down the offense when he gets the ball because he has to have it in his hand and he wants to play bully ball. This is not bully ball. You got to pass that rock around. You dealing with young stallions out here that need to get on, that need to run. And you holding it up because you want to get down there and play Daryl Dawkins ball. No.
Okay. Well, no. Not a professional LeBron hater anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I ain't no LeBron. LeBron got to pass that rock.
Whether he's doing good or bad,
that
man does not like LeBron.
Doesn't play.
Cry, baby.
He has a coffee. He has a cup of coffee on the sideline. LeBron, you got to know LeBron does some real fascinating stuff when he's not playing. He'll eat a hot dog on the bench. He'll get a cup of coffee. I mean, he'll call timeout, be talking to the refs and all this kind of stuff, right? So you don't really get to know LeBron, but he is the ambassador. There ain't no problem with that.
The craziest thing is though, when LeBron plays this season and puts at least 25, 5, and 8 out
when
there,
he don't play, they jump up to 140 points like it's nothing. Okay? Man. I mean, they play really good.
Vince, it's a known fact. He holds the ball too much.
Hold the ball.
So you're saying that the
He's
Lakers
playing
be better
out
off
of
without
John,
LeBron
he's
James?
playing out of his position.
I
Hey,
get
John,
He
the
will not accept the fact that he is a power forward
Yeah.
and he
Okay,
needs to stay at that
but-
position and
Yeah.
stop coming out there at the point. You are
okay,
not a
but John,
point guard.
but John and Mike, it's a known fact, y'all both LeBron haters.
No, I love LeBron.
Well,
I love the Lakers.
And that's
You know
okay.
what?
I'm
Right
gonna give-
now,
I'm
but
gonna give
right,
the man-
but
I'm gonna
watch
give the
this,
man
Vince.
credit. I'm
Right
gonna give the man
now,
like
right
him.
now, we're talking the science of sports. We're not dealing with hate.
John, you hate that man. You hate that
The
man.
fact is that he cannot
Okay,
play.
let's talk about Austin Reed.
He can't play at the level.
Austin Reed, this guy calls him funky music, right? He tells
Who-
me every
he said-
time.
he said- he
Austin
called it
Reed,
what?
like I say, he calls him funky music. Oh, would you like that funky music? Oh, would you like that funky music? So finally I said, man, let me tell you something right now. It's easy for a guy to score 30 when you're giving up 38, right? Everybody looks at, oh, he got 30. Man, he just gave up the guy's got. He got 38. Okay, so these guys are running a minus and minus. This is real talk to you guys, because what I do is I have team meetings for these NBA teams. I get right in there and I take all those guys who were minus and I turn them into pluses, okay? And you guys may not believe it because every guy out there's got about 15, 20 guys that are handlers for them, that they're going to get the message, okay? And the Lakers got too many guys, okay, that want to shoot the basketball, okay? Now, you got good young talent, but what John is saying, how come LeBron can't be like Magic Johnson, come back and go to the 4th spot? You got Van Exel sitting there, you got other guards that can run that, and you're older now. You're not young. You can half the time. I'll tell you guys, if you watch LeBron, he'll lose the ball. He won't even go back on defense. He'll just chill out, man. Y'all handle that. Okay.
The thing is, LeBron's a natural facilitator. That's already known that that's a part of his game. That's the main part of his game.
Yeah, he's not. And
force.
let me tell you. Let me tell you. I had a situation yesterday. I was talking to this guy, and you know, he asked me about the. He said, "Man, you old enough. I think that I can have this conversation with you." I said, "Well, he said, well, what's the whole debate with this Michael and Mad and LeBron?"
Yeah.
And I said, well, you know, Michael was known to, he's a killer. He's an assassin.
Mike was good.
Two different mentalities. Two different mentalities of the game.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike.
But if you sitting there going to the finals for 10 straight years,
they paid Mike. They paid. Huh?
He said, what you say?
I said, if you go to the finals for like 10 consecutive years straight and you don't win all of them, we're going to say you're not a dog?
Well, let me say this. All I'm saying is they paid Mike to make sure that he had to take that last shot.
Yeah.
There's definitely been moments where Michael Jordan has passed out to somebody else for the last shot.
Well, not many. It's been a few, but it ain't been. It ain't enough. It really ain't enough to even mention. It may have been twice. It may have been twice at the max 3 times.
But John, it's not a fair criticism. I don't think it's fair.
No. I'm talking about when he asked me.
In the cuts with him at all times.
I'm talking about when the man asked me.
Okay.
He asked me a question.
He kept in the cuts a couple times, man. Come on.
Well, I'm saying a couple times. Listen. For the most part, Michael Jordan is known as an assassin.
Yeah.
Straight up.
As he should be. As he should.
And Mike, well, watch this. Now, I grew up in that era. Mike was feared.
Yeah, he was feared.
Straight up. They ain't even, when you played them, Joker was scared. They got that weedy. They slept all night long. They knew that they had to pack their lunch and some because they get ready to play against the assassin.
All right, what you say, Mike? Go ahead, Mike.
Who's the best to ever play the game?
There is no best.
Who's the best? I know
who's the best. His name is LeBron.
To me, how can you say he's the best? It's impossible.
Because the man is a pass-first player and he has 40,000 career points.
It's impossible to say he's the best. It's because you listen.
You have more career points. He has more career points than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That doesn't make you the best.
He
wasn't the best in his era. Kobe was a better assassin.
If he did all that, he need to have more chips.
I ain't gonna lie. Kobe was a better Kobe my
Hold on,
favorite
hold on,
player of
hold
all
on,
time.
hold
I'm
on.
gonna be so real.
Hold
Rest
on,
in
hold
peace,
on.
Kobe. I ain't gonna
No,
lie. LeBron used to
there's
whoop Kobe's
no best.
ass when they matched up. I ain't even
There's
gonna lie
no
to you.
best though, man. There's no best.
But why? But what? But
There
what did
is a
Kobe?
best. Hold on, man.
What did Kobe
There's a
even
best.
say
Hey
himself?
Mike,
He said,
listen,
"I would never ever
hold on.
say that
Mike,
I'm
would you
better than
agree?
Michael Jordan. I got
Mike,
everything I got.
I'm with
I
you.
stole
I'm
from
in
him.
with
I
it.
got it.
Yeah.
I got everything from him. So I
but
can never say I'm better than him. Because if
hey
it
Mike,
wasn't for him, there would be no me.
all
That's
right.
where I
Well,
got
That's
Mike,
my
what a lot of cats
imagination.
though.
Mike,
That's where I got my imagination. That's where I got my energy. That's
well,
where I
that's
got
not
my.
best player. I don't mean.
That's where I
That's
got my
great.
confidence.
I got a best player.
That's all
Come
great,
But
on,
but
who do
that,
you
man.
think
that
Michael
doesn't make it
Jordan
best
watched
player though.
before he made it in the
Listen, Mike,
NBA? Michael Jordan
Mike,
was probably
Yeah.
watching cats like Dr.
would
J and all them, and that's where he got
would
some of his flair
what
from.
they need
Yeah,
to
but he
see
ain't now.
is
He was different. He ain't now. He ain't.
now,
Dr. J
Mike,
may
It's the
have
Mike.
same. It's
inspired
the
him.
same logic.
I'm not gonna say he didn't inspire him, but not to the degree where you look at Kobe's moves and you look at Mike's. It's almost like
Man,
he cloned him.
hey,
He
hey,
looked like
Mike,
he been
they
I
cloned
don't
him.
know. If we
they
look at
The
need
stuff
to
with
say,
Jordan,
way
it's
Mike.
gonna look very reminiscent to
Mike
Dr.
don't
J.
look nothing.
Hold on, you
Mike
guys
don't
are
look nothing
arguing.
like Dr. J.
But
He
John,
don't
y'all
walk
arguing.
like him. He don't talk like him. His mannerisms is not like Dr. J. None of that. If you look at Kobe, if Kobe stick his tongue out, Kobe walk the way he walked, the way he do every move he make, it looked like Mike.
Yeah, it
But
does.
Straight up.
I'm on to bet my
Jordan did
life that
not.
there are players that
Jordan
Michael
did not
Jordan
do that with
watched.
Dr. J. He didn't do
No, he
that with
did.
But
Dr.
He
I'm
did.
telling
He
you
did.
that Michael Jordan watched certain players. I'm pretty sure he
Yeah,
could
he did
fast
watch
through
other
their game
players.
like
Don't
he
get
had
it
in their
twisted.
game.
But he didn't mimic them. He
But
may have
John,
watched
And you
them,
can
but
say
but
John,
that.
he developed his
let's just say
own
this though,
style.
Mike.
There's
Mike,
nobody. Watch this.
Yeah,
There's no.
I'm
The
here.
only player.
I'm here.
I tell you what. The only player that I can say he may have mimicked is the one that sat with him when he did his retirement speech.
Mhm.
And who was
Right.
that?
Mike, can we say this though, Mike?
Yeah,
Am I? Hey, Money Mike. You remember who that was?
when he gave his retirement speech.
When he did his retirement speech, he had the one he looked at. He was 6'4", and he glide through the air. He
Who
used to glide through the air like Mike.
who Clyde?
No, it wasn't Clyde. No,
Wasn't Greg.
it was
You saying no, like Clyde wasn't good. What's wrong with you?
no. He
No, he
was.
said
I'm not. I'm
something
Yeah,
just saying.
Clyde averaged
inspired.
27 a
No, he
game.
was old school. He was old school, but Mike looked up to him,
Oh,
and he
Irvin. I
was
mean,
a player.
Mitch Richmond.
George.
He said Mitch Richmond
Not
was
George
inspired.
Gervin.
Um,
Not
Yeah, he
Gervin. It
said
was
the Iceman.
what is his name? And he played a similar game as Mike because he played in the air.
Who did he play with? Clyde. It wasn't Clyde. It wasn't.
Well, it
What's
had
his
to be
name?
Dr. J, man.
Now, what's not done? He was. This was a. He was. I would have to go back and look at his retirement speech.
All right. Well. Hey,
The,
Mike, would you agree?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would say, in all fairness, you have to just say every 10 years. I wouldn't say ever the best ever. I would just give it every 10 years. So, and from 2020 to 2010, we'll say it's LeBron. Maybe had been the most efficient player. I'm not gonna say he's the best because there's other people who had way better skills than LeBron. He just did more. If we go back to
I
that,
wouldn't say he's the most skilled player.
right,
No,
right. So
the most skilled player ever is
you
Kevin
can
Durant.
never say the best player because it's impossible.
He's throwing Kevin Durant in the mix now.
2000 to 2010. Now, who would be the most dominant player? Shaquille O'Neal.
From
Yeah.
2000
So you can't say the most dominant player. So you can't
he
say
was
the most.
dominant. Yeah.
That's why I say
No,
you
Shaq was
can't.
dominant for sure, but I wouldn't say for 10
Look,
straight
you can
years
never
of that
say
era, Shaq
you
was
can never say
dominant.
the best player because some players like centers don't last long. It's a known fact.
That's right.
So
Well,
it's unfair.
I think that's a matter of
Unfair
opinion.
thing.
That's a matter
They
of
don't last
Vince,
long.
you
It's a
can
known
say
fact.
that. You can
Centers
say
don't last
that.
long.
But Vince, you can say that, but I can't say that. I can't say it's there. Because the best player I ever laid out was the doctor. The doctor could do whoa boy. He could do
Who?
more than the doctor, Julius.
Okay.
Julius could do things that these guys couldn't even imagine doing. Okay, you have to understand. Plus, Julius was 6'7". Okay, he's a big man. He made Michael Jordan look extremely small. Okay, and when they were at Rucker, okay, this dude had people on the buildings. He had people hanging out. I mean, they were everywhere. Okay, there ain't never been a player. Julius, he'd have dunked on Shaq. He'd have dunked on Jordan. He abused Jordan while he was there. Because Jordan's first 6 years, he got beat up. He was a punk. Okay,
Yeah.
let's be honest. All right, and then but they want to come back. They want to listen. They want
What
to
you
come back
think?
and say they want to come back and say, hey, Jordan won 6 straight. Yeah, but he lost.
He was a dog though. When he first came in the NBA, he was a dog.
Well,
Michael
Jordan only
was a
won.
boy when he
Jordan,
first came into the league.
Dr. J only won one. He only won one chip.
Now, Doc came in. Let me tell you what Doc did. Doc was in the ABA. He was killing it.
No, ABA.
Dr. J.
Let me ask you a
Magic
question, Mike.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
But there's nobody like the doctor.
Let me ask you a
Nobody
question.
can do what Doctor did. Which what
All
I'm
right.
trying to say.
So, Mike, who
was
was your top? This to make it fair, easier.
Yeah.
Who was your best 2 players in the 90s?
I like Bernard
One of them is
King,
Michael
man.
Jordan.
Wait. Let me ask. Wait. Let Mike answer.
I look for a cat like Bernard who could put it on the floor and drop 50.
All right.
You
So
know what I'm
Bernard
saying?
King. We got Bernard King. Who else?
Yeah,
you got?
Bernard King.
He was a
Man, who
monster.
else you got,
He
Mike?
was a monster.
Him and the
Okay.
Iceman. Gee.
Who else you got, Mike? 1990 to 2000. Who else you got?
And then you got Tim Hardaway, man. The Chicago
So
boy,
you
man.
got
He was
Tim
nice.
Hardaway.
Who?
I love Tim
And-
Hardaway. I love Tim Hardaway, man.
I love him
Bernard
too.
King.
I patterned
Yeah.
my game after Tim
Hold
Hardaway.
on,
Yeah.
man. So you said from 1990 to 2000, you're
Yeah.
picking Tim Hardaway, and you're picking Bernard King.
You know what?
Now
You know
you
what?
you ain't gonna win with that, Mike.
Wait, hold on. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Hold on.
Mike,
Now,
you ain't winning.
Isaiah,
You ain't winning with that, dude.
Isaiah, who's your best 2 players from the 90s? Go ahead.
Those are the 2 guys that I like. Now,
All right, that's Mike. That's
you
Mike's
can
2.
go back and say, did they win or not? Not the
Right.
players that won. Those 2 players. I don't think Jordan could have stopped Bernard King.
Right, well,
if he went to sleep and woke up 20 times. Bernard would have still dropped 40 on Mike. He's just too big, too strong.
All
Yeah,
right,
he was bigger
who are
than
your 2 players? Who are your 2 players? Come on,
From-
stop. Hey, look, let that man speak. Go ahead. Who are your 2 players from the 90s?
2 players from the 90s.
Your
Like
best.
any position?
I don't care who it is.
All
Your
right.
best 2 players.
All right. If we going from, I'm gonna just go flat out 2 players from that era. I'm gonna go Jordan and Akeem.
All right, John. Who's your
He
best?
was a
2?
beast.
From
He was a
1990
beast.
to 2000. Who's your best?
He
2?
was a beast. Yeah, he was a beast. King was a beast. Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Who?
He's good.
Who's your best 2 players from the 1990 to 2000?
All the way through the 2000s.
John, I don't care who it is, man. Pick 2 players.
All right.
Good
I'm now. Are they different positions?
John, your best 2 players. I don't care what position.
Oh well. I had to pick. My 2 would be Mike and Magic.
Okay.
Magic great.
So
Magic
I
great.
would
Yeah,
pick Mike.
maybe
I would
Mike
pick-
and
I would
Magic.
pick-
Yeah, they'd be my 2.
I would pick Michael Jordan, and I also would pick Keep Olajuwon.
But why would you?
Yeah, I love the
Why
Olajuwon.
would you pick Jordan? Why do people pick Jordan? Tell me why.
I picked Jordan because he was the most dominant. I mean, score factor, fear factor. I mean, plus defensively.
Defensive,
he played both.
offensive.
He played
You
both.
just call a spade a
and-
spade. Michael Jordan is hands down the best player from that time.
Well, he was on. No, wait. I say you got to go by every 10 years. That's why I said it's unfair. It's an unfair conversation.
I got you.
Because if you go 1980 to 1990, who are your 2 best players?
You got Larry Bird, Magic Johnson.
I pick Larry Bird,
Magic
and I pick the boy from the who was it? Mike was the boy from the Bullets.
Magic Johnson.
The Bullets. No,
No, you got to pick Magic Johnson. You're missing a
Gotta
player
go
here, man.
Magic.
You got to go Magic Johnson.
no, that's your 2.
No, I'm saying, but in the 80s, you got to go Magic Johnson. Man.
Magic
That's
was
Mama
the
named
man
him
in the
Irvin,
80s.
but they called
That's
him
your 2.
Magic.
So your 2 in 1980 to 1990 is who?
Well, the
Me?
80 to the 90s.
Mike,
You got,
yes,
you
Mike.
got Bird and Magic.
Bird
They
and
played
Magic.
for
All
the
right,
title every year.
who you got, John?
Yeah, that's Bird and Magic.
Who you got, John? Bird and Magic.
Bird and Magic, because they
Who
carried
you
the
got,
league.
young boy? Who you got from the 80s? Well, if you know
Bird
the
and
player.
Magic, honorable mention, Dr. J.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
Doc.
Bernard King and Larry
Bernard
Bird.
King was a monster.
Bernard King and Larry Bird.
That's fair.
Yeah, Bernard,
That's why
I
couldn't argue with you.
That's why you can never say the best player. It's impossible.
What about
I couldn't argue with
It's
you.
impossible, man.
What about Isaiah Thomas?
No, Isaiah, he was
Mike,
good.
you can
I
only
ain't gonna
pick
say
2
he was the
players.
best.
If you walk away and it's 2 on 2, you can only pick 2 players.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, that's true.
So it's an impossible thing to say the best player. I think that's a dumb terminology. He's the best player ever. That's
I
stupid.
feel
Well, it
like
depends.
I wouldn't
That's why
necessarily
I think.
say that. I just feel like the best player is going to change as the history of basketball
Exactly,
over the course of
man.
time.
That's what I'm
Yeah, but
saying
if
to
you
Like
you.
in
never
40
saw the
basketball,
player, if you
like in
didn't
40
see the
years, if
player
we're
live,
in
it's
40
kind
years,
of
we're not
hard
going to be
to
saying
do.
that LeBron is the best player ever.
Exactly,
Because
that's what
if
I'm
we're
saying
still
to you.
saying that, that just means basketball
Exactly.
hasn't grown.
That's why I said it's unfair.
Yeah, that's right. Good point. That's right.
Now the only sport
Well,
that you can actually say this and definitively would be like a track and field because their records last whatever they last for. So you know
right.
who was the best because about a record.
Yeah,
And so
that
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And
I mean
all
the
that.
only sport really that you can say definitively somebody's
So
the best.
are you saying Ben Johnson was the fastest? Because
I'm
Ben
saying no,
Johnson went in there and won?
I'm going by just the time base. I'm just saying time base.
Okay. Okay.
So like Boat, we
All
know
right.
Boat is the best ever.
All right.
There's
All
no
right. That's fair.
there's no debate about that.
Okay.
The
Hussein
time speaks
Bolt?
for itself. The time
Yeah,
speaks for
you
itself.
can't. He's another.
It's
He's
no
a
debate.
different person.
It's no debate. So
His
I
time and
think
his times are ridiculous.
because Mike, you can go back and say baseball. Who was the best player in the 1990s to
Oh, that's
2000?
easy. That's easy. That's
Okay,
not
so
hard.
no, it's easy for
That's
you.
not hard.
Who are your two?
That's
Who
not
are your two
hard.
players?
Reggie
Who are your two
was a
players?
damn fool.
You got two players. Man, you know, I could just go. I could just go easy. I can go Pete Rose and Barry Bonds. That's easy.
No.
That's
I said
easy.
from the 90s. I said
That's Pete
90s
Rose
to
and Barry
2000.
Bonds. Where do you think Barry Bonds was playing in the 80s or something?
Pete
Barry
Rose
Bonds
didn't
was
play in
hitting
the
home
90s.
runs. Pete
The
Rose
80s.
did. What you
80s.
talking about? Pete Rose
Well, he
played.
played.
Pete
Yeah, Pete Rose
played.
played in the '80s.
Yeah,
Well, he played in the 80s.
till he was 44
But
years
Barry
old.
Bonds. But
He was
Barry
on the
Bonds
Phillies.
was on steroids.
No, he wasn't.
You
No,
know,
Barry
Well, that's
Bonds.
you're biased
Okay.
because you're in the Bay Area. You're
No,
biased.
Listen,
This man
Barry
was on
Bonds was on the
steroids, man.
Pirates. He was on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
hey,
He
what,
was on
hey,
the Pirates.
so
And
hey,
he was
Mike,
hitting.
Mike, hey, Mike, what I do, Mike? I want to know your thought around that Barry Bond. Did he tell us about the whole steroid thing?
Okay, so he did what everybody else did. Okay, and it was a
He
known
did
fact.
what everybody else
It
did.
was a known fact. I mean, guys, listen. Let me tell you a story.
Come on, Mike.
So, you know, and a lot of people don't know this. So I was a vendor. Okay, I started with Harry MC. 14 years old, I'm vending sodas, and popcorn, all the way up to beer for Harry M. Stevens, and we go over to the Oakland Coliseum. And I'd been over there, and I go watch the games. I go do the games at the seventh inning. You can go cash in, get your money, come back, get any seat you want, right? So the Oakland A's, they had the Bash Brothers. Okay, so they had Dave Henderson, Jose Canseco, and Mark Aguirre. Okay, they all came in thin. 4 or 5 years later, these guys bulked up like the Hulk. You could really tell McGuire bulked up, right? And so everybody was juicing up. And you know, the baseball, the guys came in and they were like, this is cool because balls were flying out of the park, right? You got Sammy Sosa bulked up. Everybody's hitting home runs. It was all cool. Okay.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, records start getting in there. See, they don't care. They don't care what you do. You take as many drugs as you want. Just don't get close to the record. Okay, so then when you got close to breaking Lou Gehrig, 61, been up there for years, nobody touched it. And then you got the Babe Ruth. Okay, they already had a problem with Hank Aaron. Now you're going past Babe Ruth too. So that's when they pulled it in, and the guys started admitting it, you know, because everybody was juicing the ball. More home runs than any. So now they picked out a couple guys. And Barry's guys, I don't know what Barry did. He might have paid him a bunch of money. Those guys did not tell. They would not rat on him. One guy stayed in jail over a year. They held him in contempt. He stayed in jail over a year, not telling on Barry Bonds. Okay. And what Barry says, hey, I didn't know. I was just using the cream that he gave me to run. Well, obviously, Barry, come on, man. Let's be honest. You had 73 home runs, 40 plus years old. You usually get weaker when you get older. You don't get stronger, right? But Barry always had that same crack in the back. It never changed. When he's with the Pittsburgh Pirates, he was racking it. When he came to the Giants, he was racking it. And then these guys get to the old, and really, they don't take the steroids really for the power. I can tell you why the athletes, what's been shared, and I know personally, they do it because you heal quicker with your injury. Okay, so when you're injured, if you want to get healthy faster, the steroid will help you get healthy faster. Okay,
Yeah.
Even Ray Lewis with Baltimore, he had to go get some deer steroid or something to take so he can come back and play the Super Bowl. Okay, so and then you got the same guy, Victor Conte, Smack, is still in the game. This guy's so good. He could, whatever you're testing for, I will make something that you can't detect.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And this is what was interesting in the '84 Olympics when Ben Johnson raced away, right? Boom, Ben came out like a bullet. Carl Lewis threw his hands up. Man, there ain't no way he could run like that. Okay, and then the guy who was doing all the testing, he took all the players' sample, he put them in the freezer, in an Olympic freezer, and he left them in there. Okay, and he came back something like 10, 15 years later and tested. They were all dirty. All of them were dirty.
Yeah, they all listen.
They couldn't detect it then, but with the new testing, they were able to detect it. And the guy's like, look,
they all did stuff,
Carl
man.
Lewis,
Listen, they all did stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, so, I know guys.
Everybody had that little trick up their sleeve.
In high school, personally.
And you got the NBA, the same thing. You know, the NBA, one thing I can't understand about NBA players,
who use steroids.
How can you go bald so early? How can you go bald so early? How can you be in your 20s going bald? Okay, think about that. And you see these guys, they're barely 28 years old. They're bald because
yeah. They got
to do it, man.
Enhancements. I always said, Mike, you know, in just like a workforce, you use tools to help you with your job, right?
Yeah.
A ruler, calculator. Yeah. And this is their job, professional sports. So I don't mind them using steroids to help heal their bodies, to help fix, you know, injuries. I don't mind them doing that. I think that it's a necessary plus. And people are, oh, you know, steroids, like I said, don't make you stronger. You have to do the work still. You have to get in the gym still. Yeah. You have to do the motion still. It's not like you just take it and all of a sudden.
Unless you're in the NFL, those guys are half cocked over there.
So you have to continue to work on it to get your muscle.
They're not screwed on straight. You guys know you guys are playing NFL and you pound around and you got 300 pounds. I mean, they really thought on the field. Those guys are not screwed on tight. Those guys are 1 second away, okay, from committing a violent act. That's why you'll see them when they go in clubs and stuff. They'll tear the whole thing up. They will go in there and bodies will be flying all around. I mean, they because to play in the NFL, like you say, Lamar Jackson, you're not screwed tight. To have 300-pound men chasing you down, and these guys are trying to kill you. So you use whatever edge you can to keep the check. Because the way the NFL is different from Major League Baseball and NBA. NBA, you don't play, you get a check. Baseball, you don't play, you get a check. NFL, you don't play, you don't get a check. Okay, they don't pay you. So you get paid for the 17 games. So I just think that, and I think the sad thing about NFL too is a lot of guys go through the withdrawals. They go through a lot of depression. They go through a lot of alcoholism.
Yeah, we do.
They're stuck in their rooms because there's no tunnel anymore. There's no tunnel to come out. There's no more crowd noise. Yeah. And now they have to go with being nobody.
Yeah.
But you know, that's a tough thing. And then you got the NBA players, they're trying to figure out not to get caught, but they're there. And then, you know, I mean, but I wanted to ask Isaiah, you know, because this Embiid thing really concerns me.
Huh?
Okay.
What you say?
What about Embiid?
Oh, he got sick. He got sick or something.
Now watch him out.
I'm just saying, what's up with Embiid, man? Embiid is he's a different cat, man. I mean, is he a good teammate? Is he a bad teammate?
Yes, he's a good teammate.
You got Doc Rivers over there. I mean, he's going to be able to put it together. I mean, because it seems like it just can't come together for Philadelphia. But you got a lot of talent. You got a lot of good players. Okay. And, you know, I mean, you were dialed in to Washington. They were dialed in the University of Washington. You know, they had a lot of Washington players come over, Markel Folks, all these guys come over. And then all of a sudden, Philly just gets stuck. What are they missing in Philadelphia? That's my question.
It was a coach.
Doc Rivers can't coach?
No, he can't coach.
He don't got the same.
What?
He don't got the same fire that he used to.
Listen, man. Listen, I'm not going on this black card. The man can't coach. All right, he's always just been successful because of his players. He has good players. I don't want to hear that.
Who do you want to replace him with?
He wanted
JJ Redick. What do you want?
Brother, that team was stacked. Okay, let's be honest. I don't want to hear that mess.
Oh,
he still had
three of the top 10 players in the league on the team.
That's right. They won. It's some team.
All-star team, man.
So Isaiah, they got the same thing as the Lakers got going on too. Isaiah,
this man has coached. This man has coached 25 of the best players on the top 75 players, and he only has one chip to show for.
Man, luck. You know, winning the chip is luck. Labor of the correct knowledge. You know, I mean, you can't.
Well, how come? Why? Hey, Vince, how come the Lakers didn't win it last year? They had a nice team.
Oh, I'll tell you why.
Why?
Y'all just been talking about it. You said that Brian slows the game down.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wouldn't say that's why we lost.
And
I
you got
just want to hear. I just want to hear your opinion.
in today's NBA, you got like you said, you got to run, man. You got to be fast. Them dudes is moving, man.
I
You
can
got
tell
to
you
say.
exactly why they lost to the Denver Nuggets.
Like the
LeBron
Wolves, like
James
look,
played.
the Timberwolves and all them guys, like the Sacramento
What you
Kings.
say? Why they
barely-
lose the Denver Nuggets?
I think they run.
Personally,
Oh,
I
word.
say his name is D'Angelo Russell.
Yep.
Oh.
There you go.
Rui
you want to get
Hachimura.
rid
A
of
lot of our
Russell?
bench was the
Who
reason
else
why
do
we
you who
lost.
else do you want to get rid of, Isaiah? That can
I
get
like
you a
Russell,
chance?
man. I like Russell.
I like Russell too, but I feel like he's one of those guys where when you look at the NBA regular season and you look at the NBA playoffs, it's really a huge mental factor, especially in the playoffs. The game is
I
like
know it is.
it's
He
more
don't show up
mental
like he
than
do in the
anything.
regular season.
Yeah, and it's like, don't get me wrong, it's no doubt that you can play in the NBA. You can play at a high level. You showed that during the course of the season. You shot 40%
Yeah.
from three this year.
So who
But
else
it's
do
like
you
it
want to
gets
get
to a
rid of? It
point where
can't
it's
be
like you can
just his
shoot
fault.
40% for three year after year. But if it comes down to April, May, and June, when the most important basketball of the year is being played, and you're not at your best, then it's just like, man.
So why don't they just
And
go get Kevin Durant? You believe if they got Kevin Durant, they'd win the championship? Because this guy here,
Well,
LeBron
I,
James,
he
don't
has a
like them
love
going
affair.
to go stacking
Yeah,
their
he has a
team with all
love
these
affair with
superstars.
Kevin
I'm
Durant.
not against Kevin Durant coming to play for the Lakers.
You think
I
that'll
Not
get
am.
you a
100% at all.
championship? You think that'll get you a championship?
We can move
No,
KD to the 4.
no.
We can move Anthony Davis to the 5.
Anthony Davis, man, he had a. You know what? Anthony Davis played an MVP year last year. I mean, he
He
gave
did.
it his all. You know, and the Clippers. You know, you got all these guys that got to realize the NBA being 30, you're done. That's going to be a hard realization for a lot of guys. You can't play till you're 35 because the young guys are coming in at 17, 18 years old and they're jumping out. I mean, can you imagine stopping John Morant? I mean, if I was on the court and John Morant came down and he was way up there, then I'm going the other way. You could have that because he is so far up there. Those young legs, and you can't beat young legs. It's something about.
And he's so fast.
They are fast and they don't get tired. They
And they
don't get
time. They
tired.
keep coming.
Okay.
He was.
And
I mean, you see how he was coming at guys that were 7'2", and he was jumping. He was jumping, waiting for them to come block his shot. Like he wasn't trying to hurry up and sneak it in and do all. No, he waited for him.
Yeah, that's how Minnesota come in there and just laugh at
And
Kevin Durant.
he's 6 foot. How tall John Morant? Like 6'3", 6'2". And he was waiting for the big man to jump.
Well, Edwards Pump, did you see it?
I said, this boy is incredible. I've never seen anything like him.
Now, I don't know if you guys saw it. He pumped Durant. He looked right in Durant's face and said, just like this, I'm busting you up and you can't do a damn thing about it. Now, when a man does that to you, that's time.
Yeah, he had a whole nother level. His confidence is at a whole nother level.
Now, this young man sitting next to you, him and his brother, they got such a love affair with Kevin Durant. They can't do no wrong. And I'm like, Kevin Durant's a bum. He's a bum. He's a good player. He's a bum. Yeah. Everywhere he's been. Man, when you went in there to Brooklyn and you broke up that thing with Brooklyn and everything and James Harden and all those Kyrie.
What do you mean he broke that up? He had a teammate that was against the vaccination protocol, and he had another guy who hurt his hamstring in the most vital. The game before the most vital game of the series.
He mad because he left from out of that bay. That's what he mad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How do you lead a Warrior?
You can't talk about a man like that when he's putting up 35 in the finals.
He's been garbage ever since. He's been in the garbage can ever since.
Hey, Mike, man. Listen, you can't keep flip-flopping, man. You going one minute you like the Sacramento Kings, and the next minute you like, come on, pick a team.
I'm not a Kings fan. Let me tell you why. They kicked E40 out the building. They kicked him in the icon. Escort him out the building. You got one black man.
You talking about?
Out. You got Floyd Mayweather sitting with the owner.
Hey,
okay. I mean,
hey, Mike.
Come on, man.
Hey, Mike. You talking about Captain? Oh, I'm sorry. You don't know about that.
No,
they call it E40 captains.
E40. That's a bear.
E40 on the side.
Is a.
You know what, man? I tell you what I do got. I got a date meeting. I got to go to 49 a day with 2 guys. E40's at the game.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, it's, you know what? I am like that with Kevin Durant because here's the deal. Okay. Draymond Green in the middle of a timeout. Okay. You talking all this smack. And he told Kevin Durant, sign the contract. You ain't even with us. You just a big old BIT, what he called him. He said, you ain't nothing, man. Okay,
You
ain't
talking to
with
me
us.
like that after I won a Finals MVP with you?
Yeah, but you won the final MVP with 4 other final MVPs. I mean, come on, man.
But
You
then
got
here's the
5
thing about
guys
the
on the
Finals
Olympic team.
MVP. You can't put an asterisk around Kevin Durant's Finals MVP because, granted, he was already playing with a guy who was arguably just as good as he was.
You know
Who was?
what?
Who was?
Steph
Kevin
Curry.
Durant. Kevin Durant lost in Oklahoma, right, guys? He lost in
Hey.
Brooklyn, right? He won when he got to Golden State. He's lost everywhere else. So how good is he? Okay, he's not LeBron because LeBron moves from city, state to state and brings championship.
You know what? When they won that championship, I couldn't even celebrate it.
I know.
I just couldn't. I couldn't celebrate because it didn't feel like he really. It wasn't authentic. It was like it didn't feel like you really earned it. It was almost like you were supposed to win the championship. All the people, all
you
the
left the team that you couldn't
if you
beat to
didn't,
join the
I
team
would be
you beat.
disappointed if you didn't win.
Wait, you said about that? Who you talking about, John?
When he played with Steph Curry and them.
He left the, he
Man,
left,
I'm like,
he
Hey,
left
John, we got
to
to stop. We got to stop this, man.
man, I can't.
There's been many stack teams, huh?
Now that right there.
That ain't the
Come
first.
If
on,
you
man.
could go back and if
That
you
ain't the
look at
first.
how
There's
that
been
roster
many
was
stack
Oh
constructed,
my
teams, bro.
God, that was a strong
that
roster
team,
right
the
there.
problem, the only thing about that
The
Golden
Lakers
State
had
team
5
was
All-Stars. Remember that?
Huh?
The
Who?
Lakers had when Kobe and Shaq and played, they had like 5 All-Stars. Remember that?
Jordan won. He had a bunch of All-Stars.
I mean, come on, John. You got to stop this hate, man.
I
the
ain't
only
hating on
thing. If you
nobody.
look at that
It's
Golden
showing up
State
on
team
you,
from
man. Stop
player
the hate, man.
1 to player
Yeah.
15 on that roster,
Hey,
it was
Mike.
just 3, maybe
Mike.
4 really impactful players, and everybody else was just you get in where you fit
Hey,
in, kind of
you
similar
got,
to
you
like the
got,
Kobe
That's
and
all you
Shaq.
hey,
need.
hey.
All
I
you
love,
need, boy. What?
I love John gonna always go down with Jordan, no matter what. No matter what.
He's going down with the Bulls, man.
I'm
You
going.
see
This is me
the
right here. MJ, the
Hey,
last
no
dance,
matter, no matter
Jordan.
what,
John is
man. No
not
matter
going to
what, man.
say that
I'm
the
He been
going with
waiting
the
on
Boston
that
last
7th
dance.
championship since
He's not
1998.
gonna say it. He's not gonna say it. He's not gonna say the Boston Celtics drug Mike all over the court. He's gonna say Detroit drug Mike all over the court. I mean, Mike's first 16 years, he got dogged.
He did. Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yes, he
Now
did.
they reward him. This is the craziest argument I've ever seen in sport. You get one man go to the finals 10 times, and you're gonna parade his losses, but the other man lost before he got there.
Right,
So
wow.
I mean, so how can you say, oh, he went and won 6 straight? LeBron went to the
Because some
finals.
of those teams that LeBron had in the finals were mediocre teams that had no business being in the finals, if we're being real. LeBron has had some really stacked teams in the NBA finals, but he's also carried some really bad teams in the finals, and we forget that.
Man, I give you credit. You get a team from Cleveland to win something. Cleveland don't win nothing.
Yeah,
That team in that roster in 07 with LeBron James had no business being in the finals.
Wait a minute. The Cleveland Little League team, they won. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they did. They did. Yeah, they did.
Who?
The Cleveland Little League team.
That wasn't a Little League team that cheated, right? That wasn't a Little League team that cheated. They had to take it back from. Well, you know what, guys? The thing that I like is these guys are celebrated. I'll tell you what. To be a pro athlete, they're phenomenal athletes. I do recognize LeBron as being an ambassador for a guy to come in the league, and this is where I'm going. Because I'm going to turn this into Caden Clark in a minute. But you've got LeBron coming in there, and he held it down for that. And you got to stay clean. You can't be in clubs. You never seen him in a strip club. You know, when he came to LA, he bought 2 mansions, $20 million a piece, brought his family, everybody moved him in, right? So you got to look at that. Now, Michael had a different event, him and his dad. You know, he lost his dad, but that was a sad case because Michael was gambling. Mike loved to play. Mike loved to gamble. Okay, he didn't have no problem worrying about, money. He just needed it for the thrill. But most of these guys go through, and that Karl Malone story, man, that one hurts me. Because I was thinking, Karl, man, how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? You got a young lady, 13 years old. So there's some psychological things going on with these guys. They're athletes. But it brings me to Caitlin Clark. All right, Caitlin Clark. All right, so this one is the weirdest
Best
one. Best
WNBA player to walk this earth.
Yes, that's
Man, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop this.
Lord.
The girl ain't good enough, man.
Blasphemy.
She good. Look, she's good, but she ain't great. You know what I'm saying?
The girl's not good.
There's a fair amount of players in the WNBA who are better than Caitlin.
The bottom line, she's
going to be in that
enough,
conversation,
man.
no doubt.
Past and present.
Stop. She's not good enough. Just stop.
Exactly.
She on
Olympics,
her way.
the Olympics is the best players, okay, that we have.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
No, they're
yes,
not.
it is. If you
Well, I
start off
tell you,
the
No,
if
they're
you start off
not.
the WNBA season shooting
well,
13%
well,
and you
well,
averaging 5 turnovers a game, ain't nobody gonna want you.
I tell you what, who we got better that just dominated in the fencing in the Olympics. Who we got better that's in tennis right now?
No, 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 that's
Who
different
we got
sport.
better in the swimming
Vince,
right
you're
now?
missing something though. You're missing
All
something.
right,
All right, let me work with me a little bit. You can't play the WNBA All Stars and lose.
the girl is not good enough. Period.
Man, you know what? I tell you what. Let me tell you, and I coach a lot of point guards. In fact, you know what?
In 4 years, she'll have a guaranteed spot.
Listen, his auntie. Let me tell you about his auntie.
Yeah, 4 years.
I met his auntie. Her name was Gina Johnson. Okay, her mom took me over. I saw her in the 7th grade. Okay, I started the grassroots. So we start in the 5th grade, 7th grade. We start early, and we start training. Okay, this young lady had moved all the way up. Went to UOP. They were 5-26. Her junior year, after junior year, they're at 27-5. She's going to be a WNBA player, right? She got a car accident. Okay, real saved her life, but she was that good, dominating. Could block shots like Caitlin Clark, could pass like Caitlin Clark, play defense, run, everything, right? So when you look at the point guard, and John, you were a point guard. So we got a couple point guards on here. Vince, you would have to be the point guard because they wouldn't let you play any other position. So you're kind of there. And Isaiah, same thing. You have to have somebody that's going to be that engine and the general, like Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, that can pass. The passing. See, because what people don't understand, really, the way they want you to play the game is with a 2-dribble pound. Okay, that's the way the game's supposed to be, to take 2 dribbles and get your shot or pass the ball. Okay, right? So all Caitlin Clark did was all these players were doing all this dribbling and making a long court. She shortened the court for them and giving them the ball in the spots. They only got to put it on the floor at least twice or once, and they're scoring, right? So that is a skill. You can line 100 players up, they won't have it.
Let me ask you a question, Mike. Is she better than the point guards on the team right now?
Yeah. She's by far.
Mike,
By far is crazy.
Stop.
It's a
Stop.
stretch. Stop.
So she's better than Sabrina Ionescu by far.
She's not better.
By far. Not even close.
No.
Not even close.
She's not better.
Their numbers are identical. She has an arguing case.
You don't look at
You
that.
can
You
debate
don't,
that.
no. You don't look at that. See, you guys get in these analytics numbers. That ain't basketball.
She's not better.
Let me tell you what happens. When you get on the court, okay, me and John can have a 31 points. I could have a 13, or I have a 31. John has it. When we meet head up and I bump you off, that's telling you can't.
If I average 30,
so we didn't bump the Liberty
13,
off.
That's not a debate.
We didn't bump the Liberty off. We didn't bump Phoenix off. Okay, we didn't got Connecticut. She bumping them one by one. And then they went to the All-Star game. And they made this big old thing about the WNBA and the Olympic team is so great. They got bumped. They got ran off the court. And that other guy, Enrique, that dropped that 36 points or whatever, man, the old regime, which I respect in the WNBA, okay, it's a new league now. The old league was 28 years in existence. And this is a new league.
It is a new league.
Okay. And so you have to look at it now. Don't look at Caitlin Clark of color. Just look, I want to ask you guys this, and you guys know basketball. Is there any other player in the WNBA dropping 14, 15 assists a game?
She don't average 15 assists a game.
No, she just a couple nights dropped 14, 15. Is any other player doing that? Is there any other player?
I haven't seen anybody, not before, not with double doubles back to back. She did a couple times, I believe.
She did it a couple times.
Oh, yeah, she is impressive.
So, but when you get to it, you just want a point guard, believe it or not, is supposed to make everyone better.
Well, Mike,
everyone. That's your goal.
She's going to do it, Mike, but she's playing 44 minutes a game.
Yeah, nobody else is doing that.
Okay, well, that's the reason why she's getting all these assists and everything else. So
that's true.
No.
That's what they did to her in college. She got all that.
They
played her. If you play all them minutes, all game, you going to do something.
But can you run 2-man game like that? Can you run the break like that? Can you drop them passes like she dropped in the All-Star game right over the touch and put it in? She has a magic.
No, she's exceptional. I'm not taking away the fact that she's exceptional. She is, but she's not there yet. She's not strong. She's not strong enough yet. She don't know She's just not there yet. I believe she'll get there, but she's not there right now.
And everybody, I'm with you guys. Everybody didn't want to believe me, and I told everybody a long time. I think about 2 weeks ago. Forget the rookie of the year. That's nothing. We're going for the MVP of the league. Rookie of the year don't mean nothing. Okay, and she didn't advance past that.
She's not winning MVP.
I mean, she will be there eventually, Mike.
Who's winning?
She's not better than Asia Wilson.
Who's gonna win the rookie of the year? Who's rookie of the year?
Oh, she will win by far.
She can win rookie of the year.
Caitlin went by far by a landslide.
Who is?
Caitlin by a landslide.
What about Angel Reese? Angel Reese been balling.
Man,
Angel Reese been balling, but I don't think she's better than Caitlin Clark.
Come on, John. What would you rather have? Would you rather have a assist or rebound? Let me ask you this. Somebody asked me today. I said, "Well, you know what?
What's in that cup you drinking, man?
15 assists and 15 rebounds.
Yeah.
I can automatically. I'm going to score between 30 and 40 points, right, on the assist. But the rebounds, I got to go put it back in the bucket.
Yeah, she's carrying the workload. She's carrying the workload, John.
So, but I think they can do a couple acquisitions. I think that Cheryl Miller will be part of the organization. We got to remember Reggie Miller played his entire career with the Indiana Pacers. Okay, so that's family. Okay, and I think they're going to get. It's going to be like Larry Bird. Okay, you're going to get to the league where you can't touch her because you couldn't touch Larry Bird. You got to remember that. Always getting 2 free throws, and we used to hate that with the Lakers. And then on top of that, they're going to get her selected pieces to come play for. And you got a lot more players because one thing about shooters, they want to get the ball. And if you playing with a hog-tied point guard, can't pass you the ball, they like, man, I'm out of here. But they know with Caitlin, she's going to give me the ball. See, that makes it where she's like the CEO. And it's a hard thing to do to be the point guard. You take a player as good as LeBron is and as great as he is, he still don't get the point guard position. Okay, he really hasn't said a game. And you know what? If I score 10 and I let these other guys score, I might have a better chance of winning. Okay, LeBron is still out there getting 38 points. You're gonna lose. You got the other guys, Sacramento. I told these guys a long time ago. They yelled and screamed. They're closing in on him. De'Aaron Fox will get traded out of Sacramento. I already told these guys this almost a couple years ago because. Too much usage. Okay. Too much usage. Now you bring in DeMar DeRozan. You got Murray. You got other players. You don't need Fox. You need a point guard that just distributes the ball. When Derek Fisher won the championship with the Lakers, he averaged 8 points a game. Can you believe that? 8 points. That was it. 8.2. Okay. All the point guards, Isaiah, nobody got 20 points tonight. Nobody did that. All the championship point guards, they were around 10, 15 points, but they were distributors, making sure everybody got the ball. And that really, like, if I ask you now, who's Philly's point guard? Who the Philadelphia 76ers point guard? Who is the Philadelphia?
What you say? You know his name.
Maxim was the point guard.
You know his name. Maximus. Maximum Cerullius. You know who he is.
Is he all pro? Is he first team all NBA?
He's all pro. He's all star, all pro. He's all star, all pro, all world. Now,
so who's the shooting guard?
Paul George.
Well, Paul George will be.
Well, now it's Paul George, but it wasn't.
That's a good pickup for you. That's a good pickup for you. But you got the thing with winning a championship, guys. I'm saying you got to have certain pieces to do certain roles. Okay, that. Even as a point guard, if you got a think, score first mentality, you can't help the team win. I mean, you look good, but you won't win any championship because those other guys have got to touch the ball. And the worst thing I learned when I was young, and I got taught by a guy named Merv Booker, who was my mentor, who's the same mentor for Jason Kidd. Okay, and you got to be able to push the ball, run with the ball like you're running 100 meters, and you got to just be able to be fast. And then you got to distribute because if you get big men go up and down the court 3-4 times, they're done if you don't give them the ball. Okay, you got Embiid finally say, I better develop a jumper because they ain't gonna give me the ball. Okay, and that's a problem. And the teams that win the championships, you look at their point guards, they distribute, they make the team better, and that's why I'm a fan of Caitlin Clark. But as a basketball player, did she go through hell? The only thing I don't like is I come to your league, I help your league, I make more money, I get you private flights, and you're still upset. What's going on with that, guy? Why be upset at somebody that brought money into your league, got you a brand new TV contract? I mean, what is it all about? Because when Larry Bird came in the league, we used to watch NBA at a tape delay, didn't we? It used to come on about 11:30 at night. We used to stay up. Brent Musburger would come on, and that's the only way you saw the game.
I don't know what they're upset about, man. Listen,
Yeah.
Tarazi, I mean, what's her name? When she first came in. I mean, she was. I mean, the same way.
Yeah, it was.
Box office, and she's also white. So what difference does it make?
Well,
man?
she's Hispanic, but here's what happened. I know.
Hispanic, white, whatever you want to call it. Listen, man, there's been many players that came in the league. Brianna,
Yeah.
whoever came in the league. They're basketball players. It's basketball, man.
But you know what they're really mad at? See, the top 5 teams, they expected all the coverage this year, and they had it all lined up. They made super teams because the top half of the WNBA is real top heavy. The bottom half, man, you're really weak, right? You got Chicago and others. So they thought they were going to get all this shine, okay, and they were going to be on TV and they were going to be able to do their thing. When Caitlin Clark came, okay, the sponsors said we only want to pay for Caitlin Clark. Okay, we're not paying for these other. Yeah, so now you got Caitlin Clark on every week, and the other teams are not being shown, and that kind of got everybody up in the air. But I mean, you got to look at it. I mean, she's selling out every arena. You've got a new contract. You're going to make more money, and it doesn't matter what color the player is. That's the point I'm making. If you can play and you can win. Now, do I think she'll win a WNBA championship? Yeah, I do, because it's going to be orchestrated. Okay, you got just like the Las Vegas Aces. How do you think the Las Vegas Aces win? It was orchestrated. How do you think the hockey team moved to Las Vegas? It was orchestrated. See, they can orchestrate a championship. Okay, just like the Valkyries, the Golden State Valkyries, going to be a new team. They can orchestrate the right players to go there, and then you can win a championship. Okay, and that, unfortunately, that's sports, because at the end of the day, it's still entertainment. It's still entertainment.
Yeah. You got to put butts,
gentlemen.
You got to put butts in seats somehow.
You got to put them in there,
right,
man.
Hey, gentlemen, we got to wrap it up real quick. Listen, we'd like to thank all of our guests coming on today. This is with Money Mike. I'm gonna just call him Isaiah. Wait, how you pronounce your name one more time?
Isaiah.
How do you spell it? He always tells me I
was trying to be funny. I was just gonna say a Lakers fan, but go ahead.
Oh, he's Mr. Laker. He is Mr. Laker. There's no doubt about it. He loves it.
JLWILLIAMS. Listen, support. You said support the HBCU players, the teams, all the Olympic games, and of course support the 76ers and the Eagles. We'll see you next time.
How about the 49ers? So
we don't. Hey, if you want to donate, here.
Donate to the HBCU original cause. Help out our broadcast to continue to get out quality info to the viewers.
All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.